Let's continue with this conversation because I really want to talk about Poor Minds having Slim Thug on the show. The women clearly made a separate reel to promote his attendance and being there, in which they alluded to the reel only being him passing advances to the women. What's your position on that? I am offended that Slim Thug was so forward and aggressive with these two much younger women who he knows aren't interested in him.
Then you're unrealistic.
He's clearly been sending them messages.
Then you're unrealistic.
In the DMs, they're not responding the way he wants. And there were about 20 to 30 accounts of him making advancements towards these young girls.
Then
you
are unrealistic then. Because Slim Thug showed up exactly as himself. And there's plenty information, cases, and we'll say allegedly, that have surfaced, been out there, rumors, statements, dialogue, conversation that makes none of this a surprise. So why do you invite a monster in your home and then get upset when the monster attacks you?
Is that victim blaming?
No, it's not. That is when does common sense and intellect take place.
You're sounding like a podcast bro. You're telling women to choose better when you should be telling men with a period after it. It should not be an and.
No.
It should be stop behaving badly, period. But
guess
you're
what?
giving an
No. But guess what? You are sounding like someone who wants to give everyone or every woman an escape. And the problem is we are far too intelligent for that. So let's do this. Let's understand.
So you're male leaning and you're saying I'm woman leaning?
Absolutely not. I'm even leaning because two things can be true at the same time. He is dead wrong and fucked up, period. And they are dead wrong and fucked up because he should have never been in front of them. I wish my daughter would. How about that?
I'm very disappointed in his behavior, and I'm perioding that. I don't want to give any more.
and that's the thing. I refuse to allow for no accountability. Now, is he dead wrong? Absolutely. But my child would choose better. Because what was so enticing to have this monster in your home?
There are moments in time when Slim Thug does go viral for his content, especially on relationships and teaching men how to be partners or how to win the game of love.
And guess what?
And they were probably intrigued and wanted to know more about his opinion.
Okay.
So are they at
okay? So if you're chasing virality and you see everything that comes with this name, that, let's be clear, does not have a successful relationship under his belt, does not have anything positive regarding relationships to speak for. He has said out his mouth he has been a side dude to marry women his entire adult life and possibly allegedly his teenage years. So what can he really teach anybody?
Well, let me tell you this. I've not heard anything about Slim Thug. And is it because you're a Houstonian or a Southerner now that you know this? Because maybe they went into this without knowing his
let's be clear.
Ass behavior.
Well, let's be clear, baby. They both from Texas. They live in Georgia. They know. Let's start there. Second thing, no, this is known across anybody who follows hip hop in general. Let's be clear. You stay away from thuggish things. I don't expect you to know these things. But everybody who knows anything about the hip hop industry.
Listen, y'all listening to Bonnets and Bathrobes, but what y'all never gonna get on this episode is a drag. I'm never gonna be dragged on my own cooking show by my co-host. Listen, I don't know which part of her this is. It's either Detroit or Houston, but what I will not have is her dragging me this entire episode. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share this shit because she's bothering me today.
Well, you can just be bothered because my question is, let's be completely clear. We can put a pin in it and say his behavior and men's behavior in certain areas are disgusting, period, right? So the next question then, let's not involve the woman. Let's just, move down, start a new sentence and ask, what should women be learning or doing to prevent themselves from being in situations with monsters? Maybe inviting them out? I mean, I don't know. That seems like the very baseline. But what do you think? Because
thank you so much. That's awesome that you did that because you're still victim blaming. You're saying choose better. If we go by the statistics, if we go by the behavior, if we go by what men normally do or what men have a past of doing, then no woman should be dating men at all. Is that not true?
Why do you keep talking about dating? We started this with a conversation and a podcast, and an
Should
old
women be
ass man making advances at young ass girls with the old ass man who shouldn't have even been in their presence.
I'm what I'm doing is I'm using the word dating, but I'm saying alone in vulnerable positions with, at home, alone with, in the parking lot with, whatever, in the grocery store with. Like, we men need their own society. Is that what you want?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Maybe women do, so we can get away from these monsters, because every day it's us on the end of the stick of one of their fears.
This guy was absolutely repulsive in the clip that I saw, and I don't know what the girls have nothing to do with it. And he made it clear, why you ain't message me back, why you ain't DM me back, why you ain't reply, when you gonna give me
That's
some.
even worse. You don't understand how much worse that is, because let me tell you what has happened, because I watched that clip when he was there. And what
Did you watch the show or did you just watch the clip?
No, I watched his whole segment. That's what I watched.
Okay.
Okay, I watched his whole segment, right? And what I will say is that makes it even worse, because he already turned on that. I don't want to call him a P word because he's 50 at this point and they are legal age, right? But what I will say, he already turned on that slime, the slime guy who is very well known in these streets, before he got there, and they still let him come up there. Like, like, I'm not victim blaming here. Where does the common sense come in play? Like, you see
So
what type
wait,
of
what
time he on.
is slime like a nickname for his alter ego or something like that? Like, what is slime?
I didn't want to call him any particular derogatory name.
Oh, got it. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought he had an
but
alter
he's
ego.
already being this like ridiculous
Mm-hmm.
um imbecile, we'll say, before he arrives after the invite. So you already see what type of time he is on, and you go through it anyway. Like, at some point, virality can't be important enough to put myself in harm's way. That is what I'm saying. Because let's be clear here, we don't know what this monster allegedly could have done. So why even, you see, already before he even arrived, just immediately off the invite, he let his persona come through. You still carry on and go through with the interview. That is my issue. Yes, they're wrong for him, period, point blank. He gave enough notice, though, of what he was on, and you still went through with it. No, it ain't your fault if something happened to you, because he is responsible for his actions. But you can take care of yourself enough to not put yourself in a position to let anything happen to you when you see something is off. It's
So
just
are you
like paying
choosing?
attention to your surroundings when you're outside. You keep your head on a swivel. We from the city. We know that.
Are you choosing the man or the bear? Because I don't know.
Am I choosing? I'm choosing me.
Oh, listen. Y'all ever heard of the Tinder swindler? This is the
I'm
Bonnets and Bathrobe swindler. Please
you
choose the
stupid. I
man or the
literally,
bear.
let me tell you, I don't trust the fucking bear, and I definitely don't trust that man. Why do you think
Jesus.
I'm so?
You're going to make my Nigerian accent come out.
Let it come out. That's fine. You can go ahead and I can hear you with your little going to knock at me a little bit. It's fine. Whatever. But I don't trust either one. And it's unfortunate, but society has shown that we can't. So now what?
Well, I'm glad we were able to talk about this because this little clip that's been circulating from Poor Minds has been on my mind
And it's
for some
disgusting.
time.
And
And
it's
Slim Thug is just
disgusting.
such a repulsive person to
It is.
me. How old is this man? Do you know?
He's 50 something. I'll tell you exactly right now because I'm still in front of my laptop. Like, so let's be clear. Lex P is 31. Drea Poor Minds is, how old is Drea? She is 33. And our good old Slim Thug is 44, aka 67, whatever, but he's 44.
He's 44?
He's 44. Drea is 33 and Lex is 31. So let's be clear. We're not dealing with 20-something-year-old girls.
Wait a minute. Okay, I know I'm gonna have to get off topic. Slim Thug looked terrible for 44.
Yeah.
I thought this man was 50-something years
I did
old.
too. I ain't gonna tell you. I thought he was like 52, 53, but girl. But it says 44 on
Slim
Google.
Thug don't need to pour up shit else. This is terrible. I thought that man was in his 50s.
Yes, his birthday is September 8th, 1980.
Remember he was thicker in Beyonce's video?
Yeah, he looked, that was his better time for sure.
He looks thin. You think it's Ozempic or you think it's just the use of narcotics
Whatever.
and alcohol?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, in the hip hop industry, it could be anything.
It could be that booger sugar.
Allegedly, we're not gonna say that.
Allegedly, sorry, it ain't. Slim Thug is clean, and we know that to be facts. He's a very, yeah, girl, but yeah, the weight loss don't look great on him. A thicker Slim Thug was fine when he did that Beyonce video.
Yeah, he was. He definitely. That's why I thought he was so much older.
Girl. Okay, so everybody, thank you so much. We just chilling. Do we need to discuss anything else before we wrap this little pop-up show up?
No, I think I like the Bonnets and Bathrobes pop-up. Maybe we'll come back a little later and do a pop-up on whatever else might happen throughout the day.
Can we do a pop-up on this Toni Braxton? Is the new season of the Braxtons coming out? Maybe we just need to talk about it anyway. Because Toni,
maybe it's
Trina,
out
Tamar, Tawanda, Evelyn. Girl. Did I miss one? Oh,
no.
I missed the biggest one. Tamar.
Not the biggest one. The biggest one is crazy.
Girl. Well, we need to talk about Toni Braxton, but thank y'all for listening. Bye.
Bye.